flannel jammies
You are
for the
painting
night.
quite a picture.
Yeah, I'm hot.
This is it. Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to get some seriously confusing fan art sent into the show, I think. It's you with the fleecy flannels and a witch's broom. And
Okay, moving on to the
Moving
topic of the
on.
week. And that is the maker movement. And I always thought I was a little bit of a maker. And we got time. We got lots of time.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, look at your watch. And don't be like the people listening out in lounge land.
Drink.
Crash. But rather, eyes on me, people. In any case, Reagan 31 from Medicine Hat, Alberta, which was one of my favorite city names as a kid growing up. It was one of those places I was just like, damn, it's great to be Canadian.
It was Moose Jaw for me.
Moose Jaw was another one.
Beaver Soul. Beaver Soul is my favorite.
Well, there's a
You
beaver
just
ton.
made that up.
What?
You made that up.
Beaver Soul.
I call BS.
Poutine-ville.
I call BS.
In any case,
Politesburg. It's like a really nice Pittsburgh.
Sorryville, because everyone in Canada always says sorry or excuse me, Tin. Because somebody punches you and you say, oh, excuse me. Like that's the Canadian thing.
Let me get that for you, Adelphia.
Hey!
Nice, that's good.
I like that.
Thank you.
But
Is there a
Reagan
topic?
31 is doing. So I just want to describe the event, things she has in the maker room, and then we're going to read about our article. She's created a maker room, and if you're out there and you have a school, you want to know what you might have in a maker room. She's got a 3D printer. It's a sine qua non, I would say, for the maker movement. Tinkercad, I don't even know what that is. I'll look it up and tell you. SketchUp, Blockify, and other software to allow their students to bring creations and solutions to life. So they're building stuff that they design, with 3D printers. Also, students will use robotics, Scratch and Code Academy to be introduced to programming. So you're teaching digital fabrication and programming. And their philosophy is, it is our belief that children learn by doing. As a school that is centered on project-based learning, and we love project-based learning on Staff Loungin, we worried that the best bits of inquiry were done by teachers. And so it's basically forcing kids to make stuff.
I think that's awesome.
And what is the article we're doing this week? It is Making Matters, How the Maker Movement is Transforming Education. I don't know. I did a weird voice, and then I
No,
just wanted
I'm
to go with
gonna say
that.
I'm gonna say this. I feel like that weird voice is actually fairly appropriate because this article reads like an infomercial.
It is an infomercial.
I kept expecting it to say, "But wait,
There's more
there's more."
because they're selling you on making.
It does read like an infomercial. Sorry, now you go.
Continue.
Once you get past the infomercialness of it, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah,
I teach
absolutely.
English. I'm allowed to say whatever I want. They have lessons from the maker movement on the second page of it, and I like their lessons.
Yeah.
They ring true for me.
I like how they divide it up into age appropriate and curriculum appropriate sort of stuff with elementary, middle school, and high school. If you look on the very last page.
I don't think I even got that far.
Which is nice because all too often these projects you hear about them a lot in elementary because they have they've got greater flexibility with the way they spend their class time. At least it seems from the outside. Again, like the couple of elementary school teachers who I know who are doing amazing things with technology. We'll throw their Twitter info in the show notes. It seems like they get more time to do it, or at least they've got more freedom to do it, where we're more bound by the bell. It's nice to see that they can do things.
Down
in
by
high
the
school.
bell. The X-rated version of Saved by the Bell, actually, yeah.
It's going to be coming out any day, as soon as I finish writing it.
Yeah. Continue.
Wow.
Sorry, I cut you off. I can't remember what you were talking about.
Nope.
But anyway, they're not down the bell.
I'm just.
I'm going to talk about some generalities about the
Yeah,
maker
go for
movement,
it.
things that jumped out at me. One was the idea of the concept of hard fun and the process of design. And they talk about how concrete experiences provide a meaningful context for understanding the abstract math and science concepts that we expect kids to pick up. Lisa, as a student who was afraid of math,
Yes.
how would this have changed things for you? And be honest.
I will be honest. I think I would have really enjoyed watching other kids do stuff. I would have been still too scared to approach it on my own because now it's not just the numbers that are scaring me, it's the computers that are scaring me. So
that's a definite barrier to entry is familiarity with computers.
Absolutely, absolutely. There was,
and there's the perhaps misapprehension that these students they know how to use technology. So
and let's cover that a little bit. They're in classroom situations where kids need the projector, the LED projector or whatever. They don't even know how to make it go.
No.
And it's their technology, and they don't know how to use
and
it.
That's
I believe that's actually a fallacy about all the kids being digital natives and being better than you on computers, because they rarely are better than me. So.
Yeah.
Well, you're kind of bragging.
I'm pretty awesome.
I'm pretty amazing. But the thing is, we can assume they know how to use technology. We can't assume that they know how to use technology to learn.
Exactly. They can use their
They
phones.
Can use their phone.
Really
They're phone
well.
natives.
Yeah.
And they're great at finding out things that they're interested in. But the second you ask them to do any research on a web page, they what's next? What do I do now? What do you mean, what do you do now? Have you ever been on a web page
How do
before?
I find this information?
Yeah.
Do you not
Pretend
understand how Google works?
Pretend that you're interested.
Yeah, the number of times I get students who ask me that thing where it's just they're looking at a Word file and they're wanting me to push every button for them because it's easier.
Yeah. It's
Can you what do I do now?
So I would say
Teach me.
that idea of making it more concrete, that ups the level of scary for a former math phobe.
Reformed math phobe.
Not even
current
math
When
phobe.
you learned fractions, did you use those little blocks, the unit blocks?
I don't remember learning fractions.
Which makes sense because you don't know them now.
We use these little blocks, these little units of 10, units of 5. And
I like
you'd have
that,
to, It was building with blocks, actual building blocks.
Yep. All right, that's our 5-minute bell. So, but that goes against the give it a go sort of lesson of.
Absolutely, and I'm not saying that that I was right about that, and I was a remarkably timid child. So.
You might not have been a modern MacGyver.
No.
You might not have been the person to to step forward and be, the bomb's going, I'll defuse it.
Right.
But here's a crazy thought: how many students do we have who are at-risk profile students who are also huge risk takers?
Well, this is it. There is no silver bullet to education comment from another Redditor. That it's different strokes, different folks. Horses for courses. I'm running out of metaphors. Point being, there's no one right answer.
Yeah.
And so where this would terrify you, it would be the exact thing that would keep a kid who would be in the halls in class. Right? This is a crazy useful thing for them.
Your thoughts? Anything?
I love the inclusion of they're talking about lessons from the maker movement. They talk about aesthetics mattering, and it's the inclusion of art into the science, into STEM, changing STEM to STEAM. So science, technology, engineering, and math. Yeah. Let's add art to that because there's no reason why they're mutually exclusive. In fact, the best things come when we combine all these things together.
And a lot of times that art gets focused on sort of an engineering design visual aspect, and it leaves us drama guys out in the cold as the dumping ground for everyone who can't do anything. But I go back to this. My grandfather, on my mom's side, was a scientist. He was an astronomer, and he was a great storyteller. He was loquacious.
Right.
I can't imagine anyone being related to you being loquacious.
Can you imagine that? And it might have been the whiskey. It might have been because he was Irish. I tend to think those two things are related. But he always said, one of his big advantages was his ability to communicate, right? And his confidence and everything else like that. So STEAM, right? The arts in there as well. Let's bring the arts in for any engineer, any scientist. Really, we're at the end of this week, and you've been wonderfully, wonderfully wonderful out there in Lounge Land for listening, and don't think we don't appreciate it, because we do. I don't know who told you that.
They're spreading rumors.
Yeah, they're spreading awful rumors.
Was it Doug? Did Doug tell you that?
Because I hate that guy.
Yeah, that makes sense. It out for me. This article, nice article, great springboard for learning more about the maker movement. So it's a big thing. I want to talk more about it. But we don't
let's come back to it because it's certainly a topic we can come back to in different ways. We can make it new again.
Oh,
nice.
That's a good thing to sign off on. Lisa, you have a wonderful sign off.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm siding with Doug on this one. I mean, yeah.
And Wizzle Wazzle Scene. You've been listening to Staff Loungin. The opinions in Staff Loungin are those of the participants and do not represent their employers or anyone else they might know. If you'd like to contact us at Staff Loungin, please feel free to do so through Twitter at Staff Loungin. That's STAFFLOUNGIN. We leave out the apostrophe. So thanks for listening and keep lounging.